Welcome back to Sparkle and Destroy podcast. Yay!
Woo! Hi.
First, I want to thank Danielle, the Merc Crusher, for my amazing care package that includes my birthday care package. I don't know why I'm calling it a care package, because you care.
The birthday care package.
Yes, you included 2 books that are fabulous that I have peeked into, and I want to discuss them because I think they're both really cool and diverse and very me. So
Yes.
the first, yes, and I feel like you can talk to it more, but the first one is I Shouldn't Be Telling You This, but I'm going to anyway by Chelsea Devontes.
Yep. Perfect.
I'm not gonna get the other one wrong, right. Punk Rock Karaoke. It's the cutest graphic novel by Bianca.
Unique, I think.
It's like Xunise.
Yeah, I've never heard them say their name before, so I'm not totally sure.
But the art is so, so cool. And I think the first book is like almost half of the first part is like redacted, I guess, because the author's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend was creating a problem or something or
Yes.
legal. Explain it.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while since I've read it. But basically Chelsea was a witness to some stuff that happened, and also I believe involving, trigger warning, assault of some sort. And it was in her book, but I believe like the editors told her that she couldn't have it in there. There was some sort of legal action that might have happened if she had left it in there. And so I believe at that point she kind of almost quit doing it and wasn't going to release the book anymore, but then just decided it would be even more powerful to have it printed as it was, but mostly a lot of that part redacted. Not the whole book, obviously, but parts of it, the really intense parts, just blacked out.
That like the black part, that just is so powerful, you describing that. And I know there's a picture of her where she's wearing the redacted pages as like a dress.
Mm-hmm.
In New York.
Yeah.
I think she's in New York, and she's like walking through the streets. It's very Sex in the City, but it's like with the pages from, I guess maybe was it from the actual case, or was it from the book?
It was from the book, I believe.
Okay. But it just, I mean, to go from like not wanting to do it to being like, okay, never mind, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna just like show how lame it is that I can't speak on what happened to me is like really cool.
Yeah, so she's a comedian, a writer. She was a showrunner for Jon Stewart's show for I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
she was an improv comedian, and she has, I think, some of her videos from like the early 2010s are still up on YouTube.
yes, I went and looked at those.
You did?
Oh my goodness, did you?
Yeah, totally. I love her.
The production company that she has with her friend or had.
I don't remember. Like I said, it's been a while since I've read it, but
Yeah, I'll link it.
but definitely, like, if you're listening, look her up. She also has a podcast as well. She mostly
She does?
she does. So she mostly reviews well, at least in the past I know that that's what it was, but she mostly reviews memoirs by mostly female celebrities. And let me see if I can find what it's called.
Wow, that's way up my alley.
Glamorous Trash. She recaps celebrity memoirs, deconstructing culture, and it says sometimes we cry. And she has a lot of guests. I think I found her through another probably comedian or somebody else that I liked, because she's friends with a lot of other comedians and funny creative people that I like.
Glamorous Trash is such a good name. I'm writing this down because I really want to check that out. And I also want to read the Barbara Streisand memoir. Apparently it's really good. My
She
sister
definitely does an episode on that one. I feel like there was a lot of lead up to that one.
Perfect. And also in my birthday box, which of wonders, was your zine about your issues with what is your toddler foods and your dinosaur nuggies that you eat. It's all illustrated. I feel like you need to post a picture or something of like one of the pages because it's so adorable. I wish there was more to it.
Did I not? Oh, I think I posted it on the site so that
Oh,
I'm
you
sure
did?
everyone visited
Yeah, everybody
for
needs
the
to go to the
episode.
website because we're
Um,
paid for that.
are and I'm doing a lot to update it and make it look beautiful. Probably just for myself because I like to look at all that stuff
Mhm.
together. But usually there's links to all the stuff we talk about and pictures and
Yes.
pictures of the things that we mention in the
Yes.
episode. I think there's at least the cover of it
And
on
there's
the website.
pictures of the punk rock prom on there too, I think, right?
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we talk about it, go to the website because Danielle loves to make a beautiful curated Zen garden.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. Whether or not anybody looks at it, but it's sparkleanddestroypod.com.
It's a mouthful. Um, well, should we start off from like last week or what have you been up to?
Well, last week was the last week of school, the school year, the regular school year. So I was winding down all of that chaos and trying to get things back. I still have like 58 library books out that kids did not return. Going through all the like Chromebook carts and things like that for the teachers. I'm still doing that. But
Why
then
why is there not like a web series that, like where you're like hunting down the books? Like that should be its own thing.
a film noir,
Yeah, definitely with
like
cats.
I'm a detective
Yeah.
with the cats as my like sidekicks.
Yeah. Or they can one of them can be Lily could be like the sensual like
The
in
femme fatale.
yeah, in drag, the sensual like femme fatale.
And Mochi would be the one like shaking people down, like
Exactly.
the hit cat.
Yeah, Mochi would definitely be like, listen to me, see?
Yep,
Yeah. Nah. Anyways, continue. Continue. I just had to interject that because it sounds like it's a show.
I do like that. So I got one day off. I got Monday off, and then we started summer school. They call it summer experience because I think they're just trying to make it sound fancier. But it's this basically summer school with some fun classes and
Summer
stuff. Well,
experience? That sounds like you're gonna drop acid or like hang out in
it,
like hacky sack all day. Like what the
it is an experience. Now they do well, it's like regular language arts and math and stuff, but they also have like cooking or performing arts, fine arts, STEAM, environmentalism, stuff that you wouldn't normally
okay.
necessarily do a whole class in. Also, BT dubs, I might have mentioned this last time, I am in a flight path. So you might be hearing airplanes, but I cannot control that.
Okay.
So I got one day off and then we started summer experience. And so now I'm trying to get everybody scheduled to come into the library. And I went to the public library to check out a bunch of books about like summer stories about summer and the beach and
Oh,
fun
cool.
stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So like, yeah, it's nice for me. Like I'd rather not work, but I need the money.
right.
Um, but it's in my same workplace. They're having it at my school and my library, so I'd rather it be me than somebody else. And plus, it's a lot like I guess lower stakes. Like I don't have to quote unquote teach things, even though I'm not a teacher. I have to usually like
Yeah.
impart wisdom and knowledge. But now I can just do fun stuff. So
It sounds kind of awesome, actually. Maybe you can just become like the summer school experience person and just do that. And then you could have the rest of the year off. That would be amazing.
I would, but I only get like 13 and a half hours a week because I'm only 3 days a week. I have like fewer hours and days than anyone else doing the program because I guess they don't
Bill?
feel like they need the library all the
Yeah.
time. It's
Not
not.
to make our entire podcast about libraries, but I did just come back from Boston and their public library is like the between what is that really fancy casino in Vegas that is based off of, is it the Venetian? No. The one that's all marble, Bellagio. It's like
Possibly. There's a
it's
few
like
like that.
yeah, it's like the Hearst Castle mixed with the Bellagio, mixed with a cathedral, mixed with Harry Potter. Their public library is insane, and I'll send pictures to put on the website, but, like, it literally like, imagine, ladders that you climb up and the whole wall is books,
Mm-hmm.
and terraces that you look out and you look down and it's just tables and tables and tables of those green glowing lamps with the brass, like those really old school
Yeah.
fashion ones, and it's all dark and like dark academia looking in there, like Harry Potter, like straight up like murals on the ceiling, like it's insane. I've never been to a library like this in my life, and I can't believe I'm gushing about it, but it was probably the most beautiful thing that I saw in Boston. I'm like, this is the most pimp library ever.
It sounds like the aside from the dark part, the library that the Beast made for Belle and Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there was a crystal bell jar with a little rose in it just sitting there.
The
Uh,
last petal fell.
yeah, but I mean, we don't have to go into Boston at this moment, but just the thing also that struck me about that trip was going to Salem and seeing kind of some of the gravestones or the memorials to some of the women that were killed.
Mm-hmm. Murdered.
Yeah, it seems really real when I don't know if you've done this experience, but
I
there,
have never been to the East Coast except for Florida.
okay, this is definitely not I've never been to Florida, but I feel like I think Florida and Massachusetts are probably like complete opposites in every way. But like the graveyards were crazy because like they would have Sam Adams and Paul Revere like in the graveyard, and you would just see like all these early colonial like American people just straight up that's where they're buried. And then like, oh yeah, that's a grave of a 16-year-old. It's always a 16-year-old like girl. It's always like an 18-year-old girl every single time. Like, oh, that's the girl that thought was a witch and they killed her, and this is the other person who there was a woman who was like too puritanical or something like, or she was a Quaker and the Puritans didn't like that. It was like literally religious on religious like stupidity happening, and just killing women. That part was really crazy and made me just I don't know, reassess. I don't know, like I don't even know if witches are fun anymore to me. It kind of ruined it for me.
Well, the witches will rise again and gain their power back, or have gained their power back. So,
Well, there was like the hipster witch, like I think you would like Salem because it's somewhat of a Disneyland vibe, but it's like the witch version of Disneyland. So there's definitely like the hipster witch places and like the cool like used to be a bank, but they turned it into like some dark, crazy witchy hangout. And then there's like a coffee shop. Like there was like witchy like, but it was just weird to like think about like, oh, there's a store that sells $30 pieces of wood that are like spell what are they called wands, like wand store, and then next to it is like a crazy like scary weird historical thing, and then next to that is like a hipster. It's like the whole breadth of the witch is like it's all coming back around to like I don't know. I mean, in this political climate, who knows, maybe we'll start burning witches again tomorrow, so it'll really go full circle.
oh, there's too many witches that they outnumber the people who would burn them, I think.
I think that's
I hope.
probably true. I like that. I think you're right.
I would like to think that. I'm not an optimistic person, but I think well, at least not everyone, but a lot of people know a lot more to where hopefully
I
the
yeah,
intellect not intellectual, hopefully like the common sense would, I hope,
yeah.
like outnumber the wilding out.
I need a bumper sticker that's like, "We are the chihuahuas of the witches you failed to burn," or something.
Oh, Gidgets, you're familiar.
Yeah. I know we didn't really talk about Gidget's gone girl moment last time.
The adventures slash saga.
Yeah, I can give you a really quick recap. It kind of combines two things that I did not talk about, one of which being like the bigger shows that my band did in Chicago,
Hmm.
coinciding with the dog missing.
The worst possible timing.
And it actually has a happy ending. So um essentially we had to put down our Chihuahua Peanut, who is such a she's a force for good, and she's still a source of strength in this house. We still
She's like that Star Wars thing where she's like the ghost at the end,
Yes.
the ghost.
Yeah. I literally have, like, a portrait and her paws right behind me. But,
Oh,
so we knew we had to put her down. We picked up a new Chihuahua out on the West Coast and then immediately drove this Chihuahua from California back to Detroit. So there was, like, that whole journey of, like, bringing home this precious cargo. Then we went into rehearsals and started preparing for preparing, like, we had a week, I think, before we had these big shows. And these are, like, some of the biggest shows we've ever played. Some of them were like 5 to 700 seaters. They were all sold out like every single night. And it was 4 shows in a row in the Chicago area. And yeah, everything was kind of coming together. We were going to do the shows. And then the second night, right before I was supposed to go on stage, I got a call from my rover sitter, my dog sitter, and she's just crying hysterically. And
right before?
yeah. Like, well, like 2 hours or 3 hours before, I'm in my
Yeah,
outfit.
I mean
I'm
that's pretty.
backstage at Reggie's in Chicago. I'm just backstage in my outfit. I got, like, my hair on. My makeup's done. I'm, like, probably warming up my voice or something, and I get a call, and it's my Rover sitter who I've had for a couple years now. That's, like, a online pet sitting app. And so I she's just hysterically crying.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like,
Yikes.
my first reaction was like, "Okay, dog is dead."
Oh
Um,
my God.
one or more dog is dead because both of my dogs were there, and
Mhm.
she just can't even, like, get a word. Like, you ever experienced somebody crying so hard they can't speak, or have you ever been there?
Oh, I definitely have.
I think I know the answer to that, but I'm just gonna, like,
Thanks for
empower you.
asking.
Um, one of my birthday cards says, "Hot girls cry on their birthday," and it's true. Um Anyways, yeah, so crying, 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 and to the point where I was just like, "Is my dog dead? Like, shut
Oh,
up."
God.
Like, I did the equivalent of, like, smacking the person and going, "Get a hold of yourself, man."
This sounds like it should have been a text if she knew she wasn't gonna be able to talk.
A text? Well,
Well, no, like, just to say, "I can't talk right now,"
yeah, yeah. Anyways, yeah,
but
I mean, I feel like there's no good way to break the
no,
news.
not a good way.
Yeah, yeah. I think I would've been mad either way. So then eventually she's like, "Gidget's gone." She got spooked by a dog, like, in the nearby yard. She went through a tiny squirrel-sized hole in the fence. She's very small, and she doesn't have her collar on for some reason, and she's gone. And in that moment, I was like, "Okay, I need to go on stage and, like, play, like, a really crazy sold out show right now and open up for a band that I really admire and feel very, like, vulnerable in general." Like, I was already kind of like, "Oh, man, this is, like, a big moment for me." And then for that to happen, it was like and then, of course, everyone was like, "Oh, what's wrong?" Because they could hear me outside being like, "Is my dog dead? Answer me!" Like, yelling because I just didn't know
Yeah.
what to do because she just kept crying. I wasn't mad yelling, I was more just like, "What the fuck's going on?" So I got through that night, and then, long story short, a lot of Facebook, and this is a good advice to anyone listening who has lost their dog, apparent or cat. Apparently, 80% of dogs, I'm not sure if it's cats too, but apparently it's around 80% of dogs do get returned home because there's only so many places they can be, and they're good at surviving. So
Mm.
they're around, and I'm sure cats too, like, cats are really good at surviving. So a lot of Facebook posting, a lot of Nextdoor posting, a lot of because I was in Chicago, I wasn't able to go back to Detroit, and I had that moment of, like, we should just leave and go back, but
Yeah.
there was no way. Like, we had this opportunity, and our friends in the area were, like, helping look for her. We had Rover helping, we had our dog sitter helping, and we knew we'd be back in a few days. But still, I felt so guilty. I was like, "I'm the worst person in the world."
No,
Like, I
that
don't
sucks. That's the suckiest.
Yeah.
Like, oh, ugh.
Yep. And so it was really bad. I actually was like listening to, like, grief podcasts and stuff, like, pretty immediately
Mhm.
because I just assumed she was dead because there were really, like, cold nights, and there was even a hurricane level windstorm one night, and this dog is literally 6 pounds, a puppy that we just got from the pound
Mhm.
and already had been abandoned once, and so she just wasn't she's not sh a puppy or a kitten is not fully baked, so you're like, what the hell are they gonna do out in the world? But what I've learned, and I feel so optimistic now about this, is like, animals know how to survive. They find a way to curl up, they find something to eat, like, they really do. Apparently, she was spotted on, like, people's Ring apps and Nextdoor apps and the little cameras they have on their doors eating cat food.
Oh, wow.
So right when we got back into town, this was the 4th day she had gone missing, 3rd or 4th day since she gone missing. We got home and we went immediately to look for her. We didn't even, like, stop. We just went straight out to look for her in the neighborhoods that we had heard that she had been spotted in.
Mhm.
And she would just dart away, like, she was too scared to, like, go up to anyone. So I was, like, following along online while we were in Chicago as I'm hearing, "Oh, we saw this little brown chihuahua, like, dart across our yard, like, I tried to grab her, but she ran away." Like, you're hearing all this, like, stuff from people, and at least there was hope, you know?
Yeah.
But what I learned from the experience and what is so beautiful about the experience is people really do care, and I was very adamant about posting and checking in there's all these websites you can go to for, like, lost dogs. Anywho, by the time we got to the point where we were gonna find her, which it was in a very rich neighborhood, she found her way to, like, a really rich, fancy neighborhood called Grosse Pointe Park, which is a very white, affluent neighborhood. It's
How far is that from where she was?
far from it was about I was over 6 miles, I think.
Oh my gosh.
And another statistic, a lot of dogs do travel at least, like, 10 miles, I think, from where they
Jeez.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Bro,
But
she's so small. It's like,
I
I
know.
can't.
And because a lot of these are, like, rich, retired people, for lack of better description, were bored and, like, would see her on their cameras, that's why they were posting about it. That's so it kind of the network of, like, weird retired people, worked out really well. But by the time we got to that neighborhood and we're like, "We know she's in this neighborhood, we're calling her name," I had 2 Coney dogs, which is like a chili dog in hand from the gas station because they said, these local dog catchers were telling me all this advice, but they're like, "Bring smelly food and, like, call her name and, like, walk around with it." So I'm just, like, holding these hot dogs, and I witnessed other people in that neighborhood calling her name with food. People I did
Oh,
not know, people from literally just, like, Facebook, people from, I don't know, next door. People were actually in their cars driving by calling her name.
like, without even knowing that you were doing it.
Yeah.
Holy wow.
And it made me realize that and it's not about me at all, it's just that people do care, and if you do lose a pet, God forbid, like, people give a shit, and they will come out and support as long as you're posting about it and you're, like, taking it really seriously and trying to, like, ask for help. Like, I posted, like, 100 times a day, I'm sure you saw. I was like I don't know, you're not online, but I was like, "Last seen here," like, "If anyone's seen her," like, just I was, like, all over posting and, it was really heartening, it made me feel so grateful, and it made me feel really appreciative to, like, live in a place where people care that much, and it was just it's a tiny puppy in a city like Detroit for 4 days, like, I just couldn't believe we found her again. Um, and it made me also realize, like, in the grand context of the shows, like, that didn't matter as much to me, honestly, even though I chose to stay and do the shows because I wanted to fulfill my commitment.
You're a professional.
Exactly. And our band it took time off work. It was a money thing. We drove all the way out there. I mean, it's not like it's close. It's like 6 hours away. Um, I felt like, in the grand scheme of things, it just really put things in perspective.
It's
So
like a Disney movie. It's like she had her own Oliver and Company adventure.
exactly. And, oh, here's the part that'll make you really cry. So, like, every single person said, "I got eyes on her, she darted away. I got eyes on her, she darted away. She went down an alleyway." And there's also all these abandoned, bombed out houses in Detroit from the neighborhood that she was in to the fancy place she went. There was a lot of places she could go. And she was darting away, darting away. So once and I'd only had her for, like, a couple, maybe 2 months. So I figured when I come up with to this dog, she's gonna dart away. She's not gonna remember me or something, she's gonna be spooked. Like,
Oh.
and I'm, like, not really I'm her mom, but, like, for 2 months. Like, it's like Anyways, so I when I finally got to the house where she was apparently like laying dehydrated in the backyard, like just like almost like near death, sadly. It was really depressing and sad. I crept up and I had like a t-shirt that smelled like me and I had food and I just said, Gidget, Gidget. And she literally jumped up and ran to me and into my arms.
Oh, baby.
And I was screaming like in like one of those movies where like the parent and kid get like, I was like, my baby, my baby.
Yeah.
And the guy whose house it was so confused because like he hadn't been following the story. So he's just like, what the hell is going on? What is happening here?
You were Catherine O'Hara in Home Alone.
There you go. That's what I knew you would have a good reference for
And
like
then there's like the drone shot, like spinning around you, like, oh, the music
the
swells.
music swells. I was just like, my baby. So that's my story of Gidget, the dog, named Gidget from the pound. We did not name her Gidget. I have a song called Gidget's Revenge. So that's it just goes to show that there's somebody up there. I don't know.
Your soulmate. Well,
Yeah.
one of your soulmates. That's why she came to you. Well, I was thinking how wild it would have been if like that wasn't her name and you had renamed her and she wouldn't have been familiar with that name, like as familiar with that name. So
Right.
you kept the name that was obviously meant for her, and so she knew it.
That's
And
really interesting too. You're right. That's like adds another layer to it where it's like
like
the
if her name was like
bond.
Fluffy or Cutie or whatever, and you named her
Yeah.
Gid, she wouldn't necessarily have come to the new
Yeah.
name.
That's 1,000% true, and I think about it every day, I'm like, I that is not supposed to happen in life, like, you don't get your puppy back, like, that's not a thing, so, so grateful, so happy, I'll let you actually I feel like this is a good segue, I wanna hear what's happening with the step cats. I have a really cute birthday card too with the step cat. Oh my gosh, you should take a picture of that, so cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Stepcats. Well, so Lily, so there's a bit of not a saga like your saga. I
Oh
know
god.
but no, no, not like a scary saga. So I know that he's 16, like that he's recently 16. But I have videos and I have pictures of him when he was teeny, teeny, tiny. Sorry. Um, I have the first video ever of him is from my ex-husband who found Lily while they were out like doing a photo shoot with a model out on the train tracks. And so I have that video, but the like metadata doesn't make sense for the day.
Oh
And I
no.
have like pictures that I have all said like June 1st, 2009. And so I was like, I don't know that like that first picture with my fancy camera that I took of him was from the first day like that we had him because he had a bath, he had a tick in his ear, he like needed attention. He would have been wet in the pictures
Yeah.
probably. I think it's probably the day after. So I was like spending all this time trying to track down all the photos and videos I have of him from when we first got him. I like avoided it for a really long time, but I even um texted my ex-husband to say like, "Hey, do you have those pictures of that model? Do you have like the right day?" He wasn't really able to totally help me. Like it didn't sound like he had the right dates either, but he was able to tell me a little bit more about where he found him,
Ah.
where they were, because I was telling him I want to take a pilgrimage, like make a pilgrimage to that spot and like see where he was, because he was all alone. He was teeny teeny tiny. We don't know how old he was. Shane has, I think, a friend that's a bet that probably identify like how old he was if we send a picture, because it's been like my mission to find out his real gotcha day so I could really celebrate it. So I think that it's May 31st. So I gave him extra treats that day, but I
Aw.
couldn't get like a straight answer, but I will be able to probably find out where go to where he was found and celebrate him. So
Oh,
I'm
this
gonna do
is
that
it's
soon.
like, going to visit like, his, ancestral homeland, but
Yeah.
this is as far back as you can go to, like, understand his story. Where was
Mhm.
the train what city was the train tracks in?
He was in Templeton.
Okay.
So that's about what, like 20, 30 minutes away. where I am, but at the time I was living in Santa Maria, so it was actually pretty far from where he was found. But they were just out there taking some pictures, and he saw a bully. They heard him like meowing in a bush,
Yeah.
and he came out, and the video is just of him on the train tracks, like with
A real hobo.
my ex is like taking the video, so it's like his feet, his legs, and his feet, and Lily's just like going up against him, meowing with his little tiny baby meow, and they're like, "Oh, he's so little, like poor baby." And
Most
so
people.
at that time, we had a cat already in the apartment that we were living in that we weren't even supposed to have cats. So I was like, "No, we can't have another cat." But he's like, "No, I'm bringing this cat home." And so I actually did tell him, I was like, "We don't talk. We don't really talk." I haven't texted him, I think, for probably 6 years or so. He did say he listened to the podcast though, so he'll probably hear this.
You're not allowed to listen.
Um, but I did say like I really, thank you for bringing him into my life because he's like my little fluffy angel.
Right.
So
And
if it didn't work out with us, like that, to me, that feels like it was the reason that all that stuff had to happen because he's like my 16-year-old elderly baby, and he's still bopping along and being pretty normal, even though he's got health problems, but he doesn't really act like it. So.
yeah. Don't mind me. I'm just like, I feel like this is such a tearful episode. This is like, because like I know he was a real hobo, and I do remember the train tracks now, but I'm like just picturing it. The fact that you have a video is so rare. People don't really get to have those moments of like first finding an animal. Like I don't have video of Gidget from the pound. I guess I could have taken one, but to like just happen upon a cat out in the wild and to have like that footage is so meaningful.
And
And
it's so like it's from 2009, so it's tiny, it's pixelated as
yeah,
heck. Like it's not
it's vintage.
video, but
But can
it
you
does exist.
with the model? I have a question though. Can you do a sorry, delivery. Can you do a reverse image search on the model to see if there's a picture maybe that comes up on Facebook or like something else from that day, maybe?
Well, I already know, like she had like a Flickr account. Like I know
Okay.
her name, I know all that stuff. And I might try to reach out to her, but like I don't know that the contact information is on there is accurate, and I don't even know if she'd have the photos. So I know who she is. The picture, one of the pictures, she actually is holding him, like one of the
Oh,
model
wow.
pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I have some of the pictures, so I could like use those to go see. I know it's like, the picture at least was underneath, like a overpass, like the train, like overpass, and he said it's near a creek. So I'd be able to probably find it. I mean, it's covered in graffiti that's probably not the same, because it was
Yeah.
16 years ago. Um, but I mean, I guess that would be the next step would be to reach out to her to see if she
Hmm.
has this stuff. But I feel pretty confident that I figured out the day. But
Because
yeah, it's just so wild. He's just so tiny, and I can't believe like I don't know how we got there. I don't know how long he was out there by himself. He had a tick in his ear, so like he must have been out there long enough to get that. He had like a scrape on his nose, but he was just so tiny and all alone. So I was like, did somebody like dump him here? Did he get out? I have no idea. That would be like my um if you had one question to ask, like,
case for the librarian detective. This is the case
mhm,
of noir. Like, is this?
that is what I want to know. I just want to know like
Yeah.
where did he come from? Like what happened?
Maybe there's a way to find out. Who knows? Like
Maybe.
next time, on we need like a good name. Like the Maltese Falcon, but like something fun. I don't know.
But yeah, so he's good. He's 16. I'm thinking. I think I told you,
16.
but yeah, he's sweet 16. That's what I want to have for my birthday. I want to basically just have like a sweet 16 for him.
Oh my god. Yes, because he missed his quinceañera,
He did. I know. I wanted to have a quince for him.
and that's you're gonna do your birthday, like your 40th birthday. That's a big deal. How are you
Yeah.
feeling about that?
Um. I haven't really honestly thought about it a whole lot. I don't know. Other than like that I'm not working that day, thank goodness. But but yeah, I think we'll do the fort. the
Yeah.
giant fort for the 40th birthday, and then pair it with a sweet 16 for Lily. But I was gonna say, did have you seen that video where it's like a girl that did threw a quince for her cat, like full on,
I've seen the Chihuahua. I think my algorithm shows me the Chihuahua, so I've seen the Chihuahua version of that, yes, and
like a
it's
full on dress. She even hired a mariachi band, but didn't tell them it was for a cat because she knew like they wouldn't come. So they only found out like once they showed up that it was for a cat. She was in one of those little like remote control, like fancy cars and stuff. It was so
oh my
cute.
God.
I was
Okay,
like, there's no way I would ever do that. I don't even want to make him wear anything because I don't want to stress him out. But we'll just call it that and have cat themed stuff. I don't know.
yeah, I just saw a lost dog sign, and it was the dog's name was Mom, and it was like a little dog, and it said last seen wearing a pink dress. I was
Well,
like,
that's probably easy to spot.
wonder why the dog ran away. I'm all for a little sombrero, but about for 5 seconds, yeah. That's cool. And I actually like I feel with the 40th thing and with women, it's like people always ask that about women, but they don't ask it about men. Like, oh, how your 40th, like, or maybe they do, but I want to like be rebellious when I turn 40 in like 2 years. Like,
Mm.
want to be like, oh, it's just like I don't doesn't have to be a big deal. Like, why does it have to be some existential like ooh, like crazy, like, I don't know, but it is. People are like, "Ooh, 40," or like, "Ooh, 30," or "Ooh, 25." I don't know, whatever.
Mostly I hear from people that like their 40s were like the best, like were awesome. So I'm hoping, I don't know, my life is gonna look the same in my 40s as it does right now, but hopefully better. I don't know how, but
Exactly. I have this so my guitar player is like so everyone in our band is a different generation. So we have a Gen Z drummer, millennial singer and rhythm guitar player. We have a Zennial lead guitar player in between millennial and Gen X, and we have a Gen X bass player.
I was wild.
Is that wild? Then I was thinking like this is kind of rare, honestly.
Intergenerational.
But I think of my lead guitar player as being he's not like irresponsible in any real way of life, but he is sort of like he can be like juvenile in his humor sometimes. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, he's young, and he's like in his I think he's turning 46 or something. And so it's just like it's just you meet people and you're like, "Wait, you're 46, you're 50, and you're somehow 18? Like, what?" Like, it kind of I feel like once you I don't know, you just have to have a lot of different people at different ages in your life, I suppose. Like, I have a friend who's, like, in her 60s, a couple of them actually now, you know? It's like it's good to have those, because it just you realize it's like the number really like, you meet people that are younger than you that act older and vice versa, and besides the whole, like, women are, useless when they age thing, which is a real societal pressure, that is a thing. Besides that, there's really nothing else going on.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm not gonna magically turn into a different person on my birthday.
You're gonna magically somehow, like, be dressed in Liz Claiborne from head to toe from the outlets.
No. No, I do like to be comfy though.
What do you think like, what did you think old was when you were little, and what do you think old is now?
Oh, so I remember very, like, pretty clearly thinking that, like the pastor at my church was old and he was, like, probably 50, like, early 50s,
Yeah?
as a, like, elementary school age,
Yeah,
and
no.
now my husband's 51, and I don't feel like he's old at all. He's like a kid.
Yeah, he is. And I have this weird thing about the number 50, like, I think the number 50 is kinda hot. Like, the
You
is
know Do you know that, SNL sketch with,
Yep.
Molly Shannon where she's like, "I'm 50 years old. I like to
Mhm.
stretch and kick," and she looks like she's not 50. Like,
Yeah.
they made her look like she was, like, in her 70s
Million
maybe.
years old. Well, Reed actually quotes that every day pretty much.
Right,
"I'm
like,
50." So, not only do I know it, it's, like, happening a lot in our lives.
part of your life, your
Yeah.
everyday.
But there's certain numbers that are kinda like it just has a swagger to it. It has a sense of like not completion because that sounds scary, but more like 50, like 50 is a ball-
Achievement.
like $50 is a baller amount of money. Like 25, $40, $50, like that's just it's
Did that.
yeah, like 50 there's something it's like and also like I've had 50 years of being punk rock. I've had 50 years of having blue eyes. I've had 50 years whatever it is, like I'm thinking about my husband, like 50 years of loving books. Like fucking 50? Like who can say that? Like give
Like me times 50.
50 to the 50th power. No, it's cool. I think it's really cool. Like 50 is cool. I think 40 is like less cool than 50 in a weird way.
Thanks.
It is. Like you have more to go. Like in life, you have more
Yeah.
to go to get cooler, which is better than being like, "Oh, it's all over from here," which is so horrible. Why are
We're
we ugh.
we're just whippersnappers, you know? Well, when I turned 30, like I did the big Back to the Future
Yeah.
30th because it was my birthday. I think the movie came out the day after I was born, I think. So it was like
You might
perfect.
have to mention slightly all the things that happened with that because you definitely had a very elaborate party and the
Oh,
listeners
I'll have
they
to
want
post
to know.
pictures of it on our very
Our
private
listeners may
thing.
wanna know about this Back to the Future party. It's kind of amazing. I did not
Okay,
go to it,
so
but I heard about
uh,
it.
we didn't know each other
No.
then. Or else you totally obviously would have been invited and I would have required you to come play some Huey
With the
Lewis.
Stratocaster.
Yeah.
Johnny Be
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So my 30th birthday was Back to the Future themed. I asked everyone to come dressed up as either one of the eras, so either 50s or 80s or the future 2025. Um, not 2025, what, 2015. That's when
Right.
is, sorry. Uh, but or to come as a character. So everybody did pretty much, except probably my dad probably didn't because he doesn't like getting dressed up for things like that. But pretty much everybody did, and we got a DeLorean. Or there's in our town, there's a guy that has like a movie accurate DeLorean, and so we actually he brought it over early, like a few weeks, I think, before, so that I could make like a trailer for my birthday. Maybe I'll post that on the website too.
Yeah, you should post
It's
that.
a shot for shot remake of the teaser trailer for Back to the Future when it first came out in 1985, the year of my birth. And so I dressed up like a pastel me version of Marty McFly, and we did that. And then I also, in exchange for making him like an ad for his DeLorean, pretty
Right.
much used this footage and made it into an ad for him. And so then he brought it back for the party, and he had like all these props. He had like a hoverboard and like the big camcorder and all the different things. It played music. It has
My
all
gosh.
the things. It has the flux capacitor, all the buttons, everything. Um, and then it was when Shane lived at his kind of little house that was awesome, had this cool patio, and we made the decorations look like the Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
Oh,
And I dressed up as Lorraine in her Enchantment Under the Sea dance outfit in the pink dress, and Shane was George McFly in his like white tux. And yeah, we had most of the characters covered, like the big characters. We had 3 Jennifers.
my God.
Um, but everyone had a lot of fun. All the food was like oceany, like under the sea themed, and it was so, so fun. But it was a huge undertaking. And so like in my 40th, I'm like, I don't want to go that hard. I do like to have, I love a themed birthday. It's like
Yeah.
joy in life.
Yeah.
I didn't have a whole lot of like birthday parties growing up because my parents would always run a fireworks stand for their church. And so I spent a lot of my birthdays like hanging out at the fireworks
Oh,
stand.
we have to mention her birthday's on 4th of July.
Oh yeah, my birthday's on 4th of July. So yeah, it's that birthday where everyone's like, "Wow, you get fireworks! You're a firecracker!" I'm like, I actually don't like fireworks. I do like sparklers, the old timey kinds, like the
Yes, of
metal ones.
course. We're
Those are
not
awesome.
monsters.
But I don't really care about fireworks. They're bad and hurt the
Yeah.
environment and a waste of money. But
You
whatever. If
you
you like
spare the
them,
animals.
and they're dangerous and they cause fires and all the things. But yes, definitely they scare animals. That's not cool either. But that was, yeah, that party was super huge and awesome. But like now I'm like, I would have people over and do fun stuff, but I don't know that I need to like have that much stuff.
But isn't that just that's so much the 30 to 40 mentality? Because in your
Totally.
30s, you have so much more to prove and you're also more up for like doing not that I mean everything about that sounds amazing. Like it was probably amazing at the time, but like if you take your 30-year-old goals and put them into your 40-year-old life, you're probably not going to find the same satisfaction in things. Like, like the stuff that you wanted or like you probably don't want to deal with all the details. You'd rather just like hang out and like eat and like whatever, like just chill and
Yeah, I think, well, I remember the reason that I did that was because I wanted to have something to look forward to because I'm turning 30.
oh,
And then if I have this big, beautiful, wonderful party,
yeah,
then I won't feel so terrible about being old.
right. And now you're
Why?
probably like it sounds like you have a lot more acceptance around it and more like you feel good about aging and like the alternative is the worst, so that's good.
Yeah, I think I wish I would have been more appreciative of my less wrinkly skin, but I still look fine. I'm fine.
You still get, like, mistaken for a young pink-haired.
Yeah, and I don't know what to feel about that though, because people will usually like look at my ID or whatever in the grocery store and be like, "Wow, you don't look that old." I'm like, "I'm not that old. What do you mean?"
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to say
Thank
everything you
you.
think. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
People that looking at your IDs, you do not have to say everything you think. I know
Well, it's
exactly.
usually people that are older than me too. They're like, "Wow, you don't look that old." I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah. Yeah, gotta slap some people. What was I gonna say about for my birthday this year, I did a different thing because I normally will do, like, some sort of gathering. I feel like yeah, like it's always something different, but this year I decided to do like little mini dates with my friends
Hmm.
and just have like really cute one-on-one like hangouts. And I kind of made it very open, like, hey, if you want to celebrate me, I'm down on this day to like do something.
Come celebrate me
Kind of
anytime.
maniacal when you think about it, but, it actually weirdly worked out really well because I was kinda sad because last year I wasn't expecting people to show up to my little pizza party dinner at this restaurant that we go to all the time called Henrietta House near our house. It's a really cool, like, demonic, satanic pizza place, actually, very cool place, putting it out there. I
Like
didn't
pentagram pizzas.
Oh, no, it's not like because, like, that's very sizzle pie. It's more like the decor is very, like, spooky haunted dolls and, like,
Ooh.
weird lighting, and, like, it used to be an old butcher shop, so it's just, like, real creepy, but, like, creepy whimsical.
It's haunted by the spirit of all the pigs that were slaughtered there.
Kind of, yeah. It's very our neighborhood, like, everything here is slightly haunted by animals that were slaughtered and or people, I don't know.
That's the best kind of ghost,
It's
so
very Detroit. But I wasn't expecting a lot of people, and so I wasn't able to really talk to people because I wasn't expecting it wasn't like a ton of people, but it was like more than I could really like interact with. And I
Mhm.
felt sad because I'm like, I moved to this new place, I made these new friends. This year, I really do want to like spend time with people. And so, like, me and my friend Nicole, we went to like this bakery that's super bougie that you get like a $10 croissant, but they're all really good French pastries. Or like my friend Elspeth and I went to the DIA, which is the Detroit Institute of Arts, like this awesome museum, and went and sat in the cafe in the museum and like you just had a little cute date. And even with Reed, like Reed and I went and did like a little perfume making thing. Like, so I really milked it. So I didn't have like one big thing. It just felt like all these little things that were just like, "Oh, like, do you wanna go for a walk on this day?" And it made me, like, really appreciate it, and I think I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know
that's
people always said, like, "Birthday week," and I'm like, "What do you mean?"
but now you're in.
I get it now. I was like, "This is amazing. I love this. I love this so much." And then, like, I wanted to get sushi for my birthday, but I was kinda tired on the actual day of my birthday because I went on this, like, babes on bikes ride with these people I loosely know, and I didn't tell them it was my birthday. Which is kind of funny, but, like, it's just this group of girls that, like, ride around Detroit in different neighborhoods and, like, it's fun. And I was kind of tired when I got home and I went, let's just get sushi a different night. So like the whole week was like a fun thing to look forward to. And it just felt very special and made me feel like, oh, like I can do whatever I want. I don't have to pick one day and then cry.
And it's like more kind of whimsical and spontaneous because you can do all different things whenever.
Yeah, it was really sweet, and it makes me realize, like, I just really like spending time one-on-one with people. I think that that's been a big revelation with not drinking. I feel like the drinking was always made it easier for me to be around, like, a lot of stimulus, and now that I don't drink, I really have such a low tolerance for it that I'm like, I just wanna be around one person. Either that
Hmm.
or I'm just getting old. I don't really know.
I'm always like that.
I know. I'm on your wavelength now, Danielle.
That's the problem is like I said, I love a theme party, but I'm like, is it weird if I do a theme party for like three people?
But, like, you are so good at that stuff. I almost think you have a career waiting for you in, like, party planning or something. Like, you could
I like that, except I wouldn't want to do what other people want me to do. I want
no,
to
you
be
should be like a gay guy on, like, a movie where they're like, "And those are the flowers? No, we're just doing something else." Like, you need to be like the guy
I'm Martin Short and Father of the Bride.
exactly. See, there you go. There's your reference. Or I was thinking actually, he's in Devil Wears Prada. He's like the guy with the round glasses. Who is that? He's like every gay guy in every
I've
movie.
not seen that for a long time. Was it Stanley Tucci?
No. Oh
I feel
gosh.
like he's
I
the
think he
gay guy
does
there.
the Traitors.
Oh, Alan Cumming?
That Alan Cumming that was in that?
Is
Yeah.
Alan Cumming in that?
Maybe I'm
Hmm.
wrong.
I
I
think
thought
I've only watched it once, if at all.
well, you should be like a 90 or early 2000 or 90s gay guy that's like you just do you go, "Oh, it's your birthday? Well, I know what's best."
I don't care what you want. It's going to be
Yes.
wonderful what I do
Yes,
for you.
exactly. Be
Don't hate it.
stereotypical.
Well, because my birthday is on a holiday, it's also on a weekday, though. It's on a Friday. So I think we'll probably just do something very small on my actual birthday, probably have people over on Saturday. And then my favorite thing that is this comedy duo who I forget what they're called, but I'll put it on the website. But they came up with this thing, there's May the 4th for like Star Wars nerds. So they came up with this thing. It's an improv comedy group, and they're like, what about July 6th Park?
I don't
So
get it.
for July 6th Park, you do Jurassic Park things.
Oh, that's amazing. But I don't
Well,
understand what's the relevance of the July 6th?
because it sounds like Jurassic, but it really doesn't. That's why it's funny. It's like it doesn't
Doesn't
really
though?
work. No,
Does
that's the
though?
whole point. That's the whole point. The one guy is like, it doesn't really work. And he's like, but yes, it does. It's very funny if you watch the thing, but like they come up with all these things they can do for July. The one of them is trying to make July 6th Park happen, and the other one is like, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm like, I love it because I will take an excuse to celebrate Jurassic Park anytime because my birthday last year was Jurassic Park. So now from now forward, this year forward, I can just celebrate it every year with July 6th Park.
That's right. Okay. That's so funny that I'm like, "No, that's not gonna stick." It's like, "No, that's what the whole comedy thing was about, how it's, like, terrible and d is terrible branding."
Yeah, it's not great, but also like so I don't like my birthday because it's
Yeah.
kind of it's the dumbest one of the dumbest days of the year. So it's like I've always wanted to change my birthday, so I'm like maybe I'll just say it's July 6th now, not to be 2 days younger, but just so that
No, you should be that extra that
it's
you pretend that you're younger, but only 2 days younger.
just 2 days.
That's so extra, that's
A
so intense.
baby for 2 more
Yeah.
days.
Like you should be, like, super secretive about your birthday because you wanna be 2 days younger. That's really funny,
Same
actually.
here, just two different days.
That's really funny. Um, no, that's amazing, and, like, I'm so glad we're not talking about America, presidents, politics, anything, like, related to all of those things, like, it makes me so happy, and I'm so happy that ever since I met you, the 4th of July becomes about that, about
My
you.
birthday. That's
Yeah,
the thing. I'm like, I hate my birthday day because it's dumb, but
yeah.
I prefer to at least distract everyone else that wants to not celebrate that day by it being just my birthday and nothing else.
Right.
Just my birthday.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna change subjects here very
If
publicly
it
because I I got a car after like 3 years of not having one. And yeah, and the car
Robo
I'm on I got wheels. 2011 Ford Fusion.
got a ride.
I don't know what it's fusing, but it's like it's a
It's
fusion.
using your desire to go somewhere to your actually getting there.
Yes, it's the Ford Fusion Experience. This car is actually named for Francine. I got it from a friend who named the car, so the car came with
Neat.
Francine.
I like it.
Yeah, so I do have a car, and I have to say I love it. I feel like a teenager. I even was listening to, so like the first night I drove it like to a thing I had to go to was to a show in Detroit I was playing. And
Mhm.
my phone wait, well, I'll tell that part later, but, on the I was like, "Oh, I don't know how to use the Bluetooth or whatever, I don't even know if it's gonna work," 2011, so I put on the radio, and it was Paradise City by, you know, Guns N' Roses.
Oh, okay. No,
I
I
mean,
don't.
you can hear that song in your head though, right? "Take me
I
down
ha
to the Paradise
Oh,
City,"
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and, like,
Yes.
I have not listened to rock radio in ages, and it was, like, the regular rock radio, and I turned it up, and I'm like, "This feels good." Like, it was, like, playing Guns N' Roses, and I was driving my, like, shitty car, and I was like, "I feel free." Like, I felt like I
You,
was
like, roll down the window and stick your head out and like, "Yeah!" Like fist pump.
like, "Do I need to go buy some cigarettes and, like, smoke in my car like I'm 16 again? Like, this is amazing." I felt so free, but then my phone died, I don't have a car charger yet, and I got lost and on the way to the venue, and
Oh, no.
the last thing I texted Reed and my band was, "This hooker is driving her own car to the show," and I was, like, an hour late. So, I was like, "Yeah," like, couldn't have started with a higher energy, like
Hooker got lost.
Axl Rose energy, and then, like, I came in, like, all, like they're like, "Did you get lost in the city you've lived in for 3 fucking years?" And I was like, "It's not my fault, I'm used to riding my bike, I don't remember how any of this works." So, yeah.
That's very, it reminds me of I'm making a lot of movie references this episode, I'm sorry. It reminds me of, sort of Romeo and Michelle when they're, like, getting ready to go on their big road trip, and they're like, "California, here we come." Or no, wait, no, wherever they're going, "Here
Yeah,
we come." I think they're going to Arizona, never mind, but and
yeah,
they're like, "Woo!" And then they stop and backfire, and they do it again, and they stop and backfire.
yep.
I
That's
can't
like
get to my programming.
that's literally, like, my ADHD life every day, seriously. But, yeah, that's, like, my big thing. I don't have anything else except, the car. The car has, like, been such a big deal, and I'm
Does
still
your
trying
car have a CD player?
It does.
Nice.
So, I really screwed up by not buying that Madonna CD that I saw at a flea market the other day. I saw, like, the one where she's, like, in the '80s, like, workout gear
Mhm,
and that whole era, whatever
mhm.
that CD is, and I really liked that era of Madonna. I thought, "I don't need to buy that." Well, I'm regretting it now. Um,
I can't live life without a CD player. I still buy CDs.
we know.
I
Well,
bought your CDs.
yes. You're such a good supporter of independent artists of all
I
mediums.
am the elder millennial, like, I think I'm an elder millennial or a millennial that doesn't trust digital media to stay accessible to me at all times.
Well, you shouldn't expect it to, because that's you're right. You're
You're
1,000
buying a license, you're not buying the actual rights to have it.
exactly.
I like to own things.
No, I feel like your library is gonna be the last where you're gonna have the last laugh because you're gonna have your own little, like, CD and tape and VHS and whatever else you
I
have.
still have binders full of CDs, I'm one of those.
Yeah, exactly. That's wild.
And I got rid of a lot of them, but I still have a whole binder full of them.
That's amazing. All mine got stolen. Okay,
Analog life, baby.
so should we do a sparkle and destroy way before our time runs out so we have leisurely time to talk about it? Do you have one this week?
You go first. I gotta think about it.
Okay, so I have one. So I'm afraid of teenagers because I'm 37. How old am I? I'm 38 now? I'm 38. I'm feeling great, and I'm afraid of teenagers, and
Scary. They're mean sometimes.
yeah,
They have
but
mustaches, some of them.
I have befriended my neighbor like, my teenager neighbor friend, Sam. I've texted with her because when we're out of town, she watches our house, like, kind of, like, keeps an eye on it, make sure, like, nothing blows up, and gets our mail sometimes, but, like, I have developed more of a friendship with her recently where I'm gonna teach her to drive.
Whoa.
Yes, which is, like, a big adult thing to do for someone
That's
who's scared of
huge.
teenagers, and she's 15 or 16. But my sparkle is that I feel grown up enough to offer, because she was like, "Oh, my mom's always busy." She's a single mom. She's like, "My mom's always busy, so I'm never gonna let her drive." I'm like, "I just got a car. I'll teach you to drive." And then I went, "Oh, no,
Ooh.
did I just say that? I'm gonna teach a teenager to drive? This is crazy." Um, and she's really nice, but still, I was like, "Wow, that's like an adult thing to do." As like, normally I'd be like, "Oh, I'm a shitty driver." I wouldn't even think to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna, like, teach someone."
Let me pass on my shitty knowledge to you.
Well, it was funny because she's like, "I heard that it's good to have pillows so that you can see, like, above the wheel." And I went, "I'm short," because 'cause we're short, unlike you, and I went, "Oh, I should do that too because, like, I can't see anything." I'm like an old.
Oh, you're the little old lady, like,
Yeah.
that's, like, just got nothing but her forehead showing.
Exactly, and my little eyes, like, on the wheel, and so,
The booster seat.
she's already taught me something, so that's my sparkle and destroy this week is that I am, yeah, I'm gonna embarrass myself. I'm sure that I will do something stupid, and hopefully we don't get in any car accidents, but we are going to go in the car, and it's going to start, and we're going to drive, and I'm going to let her drive in a parking lot.
Gonna be great.
Yeah.
You're gonna teach the heck out of driving.
I'm gonna teach the stuffing out of this girl.
Be the best driver ever in the
I'm gonna
history of
I'm gonna teach
humankind.
I'm gonna teach the fear right out of her.
Then you're gonna watch her drive away and be like, "I did that."
She just steals my car. Um, steals my car, goes to the mall. Anyways, what's your sparkle and destroy and or?
Um, I think my spark no, my destroy is, like, letting go of things that from my past that don't serve me anymore, such as this is a specific thing. So, um, it's funny because the first official episode that we did together, like, of Sparkle and Destroy, I talked about, like, this mental catalog of things that I've been super into since, childhood. So, like, say, whales or the movie Titanic/History of Titanic. And I said, "I still like most of those things except Gwen Stefani." That
Right, right, right.
that aged well. I finally just sold my Rocksteady pants I made to go see them for the first time in concert because she, has lost the plot. Uh, yes, she's, doing that whole selling advertising for prayer app, which praying is great.
I
You
got one
should
of those
have
ads.
to
I got
pay for praying.
I got one of those ads, yeah, or the
And
video.
I believe that app is backed by Peter freaking Thiel and Mark Wahlberg. I'm pretty sure. And so I was like, "You know what? I've been holding on to these because I made them and they are special to me, but I do not want this evil in my house anymore." And so I sold that and I sold my last, No Doubt shirt. It's the Rock Steady baseball pink and red ringer tee that I even have some of my senior pictures taken in. Because I actually sold it to one of Shane's friends that is a seller at the swap meet and does like deals vintage. I sold him a few years ago my scrapbook of No Doubt that I'd had since I was a like kid of like every piece of magazine scraps that I could find mentioning No Doubt or Gwen Stefani and even like drawings that I've done. And he bought it and was like, "This is the best thing of all time," and he just keeps it. I think he has a girlfriend that he actually bought it for her,
Okay.
but so he bought my
So, how
I
much did
said
you sell the t-shirt for? I need to know.
well, so I saw one on there weren't any on eBay that we could find, like no history of it. It was $100 on the internet. It was like on somebody's personal like website where they were selling things. Um, but I didn't know how to price the pants, and mostly I needed money and I wanted to get rid of the things. And so he offered $50 for both, and I took it. And I said, well, that's fine. I have one picture of me wearing those pants, and that's enough for me. And I don't feel like I need those in my life anymore.
I love that you're saying like, because that's hard for me too, is like a photograph is a memory of something. You can
Mhm.
throw the physical thing away, but to me, I'm always like, no, the physical thing, but to take a photo or to have a photo, it's like, okay, that exists as the photo now. And that is a really good,
Very
like,
garbage tiny photo from probably the year 2000, but whatever. It's
it
good enough.
still exists. And you have your photo of you in your class photo, like it exists in the world. Like,
Mhm.
and I have a little photo of me in my little Operation Ivy t-shirt in my ninth grade photo or whatever. And I don't know where that t-shirt is, but I like remember it, but I don't need to save every t-shirt. Like I have a box of like old punk t-shirts upstairs and I'm like, I can't get rid of this. Or like,
You gotta make it into a quilt.
I just sold my punk rock, like, yeah, I just sold my punk rock bullet belt. That's like literal bullets, like
Oh.
bullet shells. And it's very like heavy. And I never thought I would get rid of it. And I was just like, I'm never gonna wear this. I don't like that it's bullets. I feel like it's like weirdly violent.
Yeah.
I'm in a different
Welcome,
place in my life.
welcome to the gun show.
Yeah. And I think that's really cool. That's awesome. That's actually really difficult. So congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm sure we've been selling at the swap meet. We've sold not this past weekend because it was like right up to the last day of school and I knew that I was gonna be just brain dead. But we sold, I think, 2 or 3 weekends in a row. So
Wow.
got rid of a lot of stuff.
That's amazing. That's like
Yeah.
really cool. I've been selling on Depop.
Oh, nice. See, I don't have like Shane's like sell stuff on eBay, and I will because I have stuff that is more valuable. I hate doing all those things. I hate
No,
taking the pictures and describing it and uploading it and doing all the categories and everything. I hate it.
you're a 40-year-old woman now. You don't have to trifle with such things. Like, it's good. You know what you want to deal with and you know what you don't want to deal with. And
Like with clothes and stuff, I'm like at the swap meet, I'm like $1, $1, $1, and then I walk away, go to the bathroom or something, and Shane's like, I sold everything that you had that they asked for $2. He's like, the minute you walk away, the price goes up.
that's so funny. You are kind of like the weird old man that's kind of ruining like because it's always that guy that's like, whatever, 25 cents. And you're like, are you sure? Whatever, just take it for free. Like it's
I
you're
did have one person that gave me more than I asked for because she's like, you're not asking enough for this. But I'm like, I just want to get rid of it, and I'm tired of me saying like $2 and somebody giving me a stink face. Like it's
yeah.
like they can't
I
wrestle
like
up $2 for it.
I think that's inspiring though for spring cleaning for anybody who's like grappling with that. And also, if you can find a way to spring clean and drag Gwen Stefani like we do every episode, I feel like
Totally. I'll keep doing it.
for every conversation we have somehow comes back to dragging Gwen Stefani. Just go for it,
I
girl.
think she deserves it.
Go for it. She does. It's great.
She's been wilding out since I don't even know when.
She's
Since
like,
definitely since. Well, I watched the Matt Bernstein, Matt XIV, I think, on Instagram. He has a podcast called A Bit Fruity, and he did a whole episode about how she's been this way this whole time because she's from Orange County.
oh yeah. Or they
Like,
don't
she's been a
so
conservative from Orange County this whole time.
my
Sorry, anybody that's a, not really, but
my friend lives in Huntington Beach now and she dated a guy recently that did not know what fajitas were.
does she
Orange County.
vagina?
Yeah, Orange County. That's so Orange County.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Um, they're not like us. Orange County is not like us. Well, on that note,
Cool.
and we're off. Let me just turn this off. Okay.